everybody? This is Moose back at it again with another interview, or our very first interview. I'm Moose Patal, aka Moose the Animator. And for people who don't know who I'm interviewing today, can the person who I'm talking to please introduce themselves?
This is DareDevil 19, figure reviewer. How's everybody good? How's everybody doing?
All right, so DareDevil 19 is a action figure reviewer. He reviews many other figures like s.h.figuarts, Mafex, and etc. So, to start off with the interview, I just want to, like I said earlier, thank you so much for being our very first person on the show, man. I really love your videos. So, real pleasure to have you.
Hey, no problem. Really appreciate it. And this is my first interview too, so pretty excited about it.
All right, cool. You don't have to shorten your answers. Just take your time with and it's not that many questions. So, with our very first question is just like this something or like what or who inspired you to become an action figure reviewer?
I guess a few figure reviewers actually. I mean, I used to watch it back, a bunch of figure reviewers back in 2012, like Shartimus Prime, Anthony's Customs. Then a few other channels, and I said, might as well just start trying it myself because I'm a big figure collector. Always liked collecting figures, and I said, might as well give it a try.
And how long have you been an action figure reviewer on YouTube?
Let's see. I started either October or November of 2014.
Oh, okay, so not that long ago. All right, so
yeah, I started, or was it 2015? Might have been 2015 actually.
All right, so
I've been doing it a little over 2 years.
Okay, and I can tell that you're enjoying it so far.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Gotta have fun with it too.
So,
it's
well, I'm glad
like another hobby too.
Yeah, I definitely can tell that you're having fun with it. Talking about action figures that you like and critiquing it. So speaking on the topic of action figures, do you have a favorite? Since you review a lot of lines of different kinds of action figures, do you have a favorite line of action figures like s.h.figuarts or Medcom, Marvel Legends, etc.? What would you have to say is your favorite action figure line?
I'd probably say s.h.figuarts. Been for a while actually.
s.h.figuarts is a really good action figure company. I collect some Dragon Ball Z figures myself.
Yeah, they make some really good stuff. I've been collecting them since 2010, when they first released the first Piccolo and manga version of Super Saiyan Goku. So that's when I really started getting back into collecting.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I first noticed those figures. Well, I did collect stuff before, but once s.h.figuarts, the DBC figures came around, that's what really got me hooked into imports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it got me into imports as well. I have to say, for the ones that I have, my favorite s.h.figuarts would have to be the Vegito. That's honestly so far my favorite that I have. What would you have to say is your favorite Dragon Ball Z s.h.figuart so far?
That's a tough one.
Considering that you basically have every single one.
I guess I'm liking the new Super Saiyan Vegeta a lot right now, but I guess maybe I don't think he's the best in the line, but it's probably my personal favorite. Or I like Android 16 also. That's a really cool one. But probably the Super Saiyan Vegeta.
Mm-hmm. So since we're also getting TN and Yamcha in the future, and also we're getting a release of the two Xenoverse and anime, I think it's the new premium cell. Is there any are you any excited for those, or is there ones that you wish that that you want them to make in the future?
The one I do wish that they would make real soon is Bardock. Been dying for them to make Bardock since I first discovered the line. But I am very excited for Tien and Yamcha. I've been waiting for them to release them, and then they just announced the updated Scouter Vegeta and Nappa releasing in this summer. So
right.
Excited for them too. We waited since 2012 for a Nappa.
Oh, that's right. I remember when they had the prototype. I was really excited. I've actually been a Dragon Ball Z fan since I was in sixth or seventh grade, actually. So it's actually one of the reasons why I got into anime and a little bit into like art, because I'm an artist, so I like to draw, and it actually got me into drawing. If it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z, I actually wouldn't be going to art school right now.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is actually a big inspiration to people. I have seen some of your art actually on Facebook.
Oh,
You
really?
do some nice work. Yeah.
Oh,
I see you
thanks, man.
post stuff sometimes.
Oh, thanks,
Do
man.
some
I
nice
really
artwork
appreciate it.
there. I'm very I'm really interested in artwork. I really like the design of it and everything. People have their different art styles, so just keep at it.
Thanks, man. So, out of the action figures that you have, which I know this is gonna be another tough question, um, what would you have to say is your favorite action figures?
Uh, let's see. I do really like. Let me walk over here. Have to look around the collection. I like the new s.h.figuarts Harley Quinn a lot. Um, the Revoltech Deadpool, I like it a lot. It's just those shoulder joints kind of ugly.
Yeah, I remember you saying that in your Revoltech Spider-Man review, right?
Yeah, but those figures are so much fun to pose around in dynamic poses and
Oh
everything.
yeah, I can tell. The Venom looks amazing. The Venom looks really, really good, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually more excited for that Venom than I was with Deadpool. And Deadpool's like one of my favorite Marvel characters. That Venom just looks sick.
Oh yeah.
There's like awesome figure. But I also like the One Piece figures, variable action heroes. I really like the Zoro and the Sanji. Those are probably some of my favorites too.
Mm-hmm.
And the Itachi and Kakashi from the s.h.figuarts line.
I haven't yet to collect any One Piece, but I'm a fan of One Piece myself. But actually, s.h.figuarts are not cheap. So,
Yeah.
so
Now those variable action heroes are even more expensive.
oh yeah.
It's really hard to collect that line, actually. I don't even know how I do it.
Mm.
I gotta
I give you props though.
But yeah, One Piece is another great show. I'm like obsessed with it right now.
Is there any other animes that you're watching at the moment?
Like what you said, DBC is what introduced you into anime. That's did the same thing with me. I was very stuck on Dragon Ball Z for a very long time. I wouldn't watch anything else, and then people kept telling me to watch Naruto, so I ended up watching that and enjoyed that. But a lot of like unnecessary filler in it. But I enjoyed that show a lot. One Piece I think is my favorite. I think I like it more than Dragon Ball Z now.
Mm-hmm.
There's just that guy Oda is just really great at what he does with his stories.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. I started watching One Punch.
Oh, I still need to watch One Punch. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, it actually is really good. I was surprised at how good it was. I still need to finish it actually. I think the English dub just finished. Let's see what else. I might get this name wrong.
Inuyasha?
Yeah, my buddy keeps telling me to watch that, and I still haven't gotten around to it. But
Oh, it's definitely a fun show. Inuyasha and Bleach are really good as well, and Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yep, Fullmetal Alchemist. I watched the first episode, but then they took it off. I think Netflix, so I need to find it online somewhere. And Bleach is another one I actually liked. I think I watched like 5 episodes so far, and I'm liking it. I like it so far. It's pretty good anime.
They probably have Inuyasha or Bleach on Crunchyroll. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I should end up getting that because I have Netflix, Hulu, stupid WWE network, so I should cut off some other stuff and get Crunchyroll.
All right, I remember you also review WWE figures as well. Didn't s.h.figuarts recently just made WWE figures as well?
Yeah, they made the Stone Cold and The Rock, and they're actually surprisingly really awesome figures. I was shocked at how cool they were, and I'm not really as big as a wrestling fan as I was back in the 90s and early 2000s, but they really did some nice work on the Stone Cold and the Rock, and I ended up pre-ordering the Triple H too.
Right, I remember they were making a Triple H as well. So I'm surprised they started off with Stone Cold. I'm not surprised they did The Rock, but I'm surprised that, like, I'm not really big into wrestling. I was a little bit when I was a child, when I was younger. Like, I saw, like,
Back
The
when it was
Rock
really good.
and... Huh?
Back when it was really good.
Okay, yeah. When I saw that The Rock and Randy Savage, and, Randy Savage is personally my favorite. Now, if s.h.figuarts made a Randy Savage, I pre-ordered that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that would definitely be
So,
awesome to get that.
so
I feel like if the line does sell well, they'll continue making big wrestlers like that.
oh yeah.
And then it'll be cool to have some of your favorite wrestlers in the s.h.figuarts line.
Yeah, I used to have a few when I was younger. With Mattel makes a few, or they make a lot actually.
Yeah, they do.
Fun fact: I used to work at Toys R Us, and the most figures that we got, like out of all the figures I worked in the boys aisle, so I mostly worked with those figures, and WWE was the most that we gotten boxes of. Like it would be like the most in the like on shelves, and it would be like we have so many boxes of it in the back. It was like it was insane.
Yeah, they used to actually. I think they used to have like entire shelves just dedicated to WWE figures.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember they used to have WWE, like WWE craze. It's like it's not as big as it used to be, but I remember
Yeah.
like I've been to one live show, and it was actually really fun. I remember
Yeah,
it.
they are. They are a lot of fun.
Mm.
I think the last one I went to was when D-Generation X was still with X-Pac and Billy Gunn and Road Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're really fun to go to.
So, another question is, what reviews of figures would you like to review next? Like, what are the figures that like you like to talk about on your channel?
Like upcoming releases or different figure lines.
Yeah, it could be either one. Like figures that, you would like say you see a new line that you're interested in, you want to collect it. Like, what lines do you want to review, or like upcoming releases that are like gonna be coming up on your channel that at least you can tell us at the moment.
Some upcoming reviews to look forward to would be the Mezco 112 Punisher,
Okay.
the Mezco 112 Green Arrow, and then the Mezco 112 Red Suit Daredevil. So those three should be. I should have them maybe this week or next week, and then we should be getting the s.h.figuarts Han Solo really soon. So that should be another one. What else? The Usopp releases. I think that'll be like the end of the month though. What else comes out February? Let me check on my pre-order list. I have like a pre-order list with the price, so I know how much I got to pay for everything. The Hawkeye, s.h.figuarts Hawkeye.
Okay.
Figma One Punch Man. s.h.figuarts Joker. And yeah, that for the next few weeks, those will be my next reviews. Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of I mean, like, like a lot of the Mezco ones I've not seen in person, but I mean they look incredible. Like the Punisher and the Green Arrow and the Flash and Spider-Man one, and they all look really really good.
Yeah, they're really something else. Like when I first saw the line, it didn't really catch my attention that much because didn't think cloth clothing would work on 6-inch scale figures. But then you get one of these in your hand, and you're like, holy crap, these figures work. Our clothing works well with them. It's crazy how they made the cloth clothing work on those figures. And a lot of people say they're like miniature Hot Toys. I think they're better because you get better articulation out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're great figures. They're a little more expensive to most imports, but they're definitely worth every penny.
Mm-hmm. What would you have to say your favorite Mezco action figure would be so far?
Well, I just got Daredevil and Batman, so I guess I really like the Batman. I think the Batman came out really good.
Oh yeah, the Dawn of Justice one?
Yeah. I wasn't going to get it at first, but I kept seeing reviews and pictures of it, and I'm like, you know what, screw it, I got to get it.
Yeah,
Ben Affleck was pretty awesome as Batman, even though the movie wasn't that good. He was a pretty badass Batman.
Yeah, he was definitely a badass Batman for sure. I've actually yeah, there's a lot of I guess I would have to say the ones that I've seen that really caught my attention would have to be Green Arrow, Dawn of Justice Batman, and uh, weirdly enough, the Red Sun Superman. I just read Superman Red Sun, and I really really like it. I really loved it, and I'm like, man, and I just saw that that they have upcoming releases as Red Sun Superman. So I'm like,
Yep.
shoot, like I might
Yep.
get that, and if they make a Red Sun Batman, then that's actually like one I would like to get.
Yeah, at first I didn't know which Superman that was, and someone told me that was Superman. Like he landed, I think, in Russia.
Yeah,
instead
it's
of-
a alternate universe where Superman lands in Russia, and he's like
Yeah.
kind of like a Russian's superpowered being, and it's like a universe where Russia actually has like taken over America and won a bunch of wars, and Superman kind of become like a power hungry like Russian like dictator of sorts. And so you have like Russian Justice League in it, and I won't spoil it too much, but it's definitely a good
Sounds
read.
like a good story, actually.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good read. Like I say, like the Red Sun Batman, it's one of the best Batmans in my opinion that they've had in
I'll
comics.
definitely read that up then.
So like I guess our last question would be is for anybody who is a fan of yours or anybody who's new of watching this interview who doesn't never seen any videos of yours, which you haven't. Like I'll say in the end that your channel and stuff will be in the description and everything. So anybody who's new or is a fan of yours, do you have anything you like to say?
If you're a figure collector, you like watching reviews, definitely check out my channel. I try to keep everything positive and a little energetic sometimes. Joke around with it. I don't try to keep things too serious, but then I do talk about the goods and bads of figures. So I just try to make my reviews fun and entertaining. I know there's a lot of reviewers out there that can, when they talk, it can be kind of like boring and bland and stuff. So I just try to liven up my reviews and make them fun to watch. So definitely check them out if you're a figure collector, because figure collectors got to unite, and we all love the same thing. So definitely check out my channel.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very, very true. I actually really liked what you just said. We all like the same thing. I really like that. So actually, I have a personal question. So like, how did you come up with your name, Daredevil 19?
Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. It's kind of funny though, but I used to love, back when I was younger, I used to love X-Men and Spider-Man and all that stuff, and then I kind of went through my teenager phase where I just cut all that stuff off and really didn't mess around with comics and all that stuff, and then eventually the Daredevil movie I heard was coming out, and I'm like, oh, I knew who Daredevil was, but really didn't know much about him, but I kept seeing the posters, the trailers, and I'm like, this character looks pretty damn awesome, so I started reading a lot of Daredevil comics, and that's what got me back into my geekiness, turned me back into like a collector and all that stuff. So Daredevil is the reason why, like, I'm a figure collector again, and I love back into reading comics and all that stuff. So that's the thing behind the Daredevil name.
All right. Well, that actually, because I like the Daredevil, Spider-Man, and Batman and X-Men as a kid. So that's just also seeing reviewers like Sean Long and like I said, Sharmus Prime. And seeing those reviewers and also seeing some older like stop motions on YouTube, just seeing those and it actually got me really into collecting because I'm like, those things look really cool. And then I remember my mom actually got me for like a Christmas present. It was the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Ultimate Captain America. That was my very first Marvel Legend, and I still have it. I think I still have it here to this day. So it's like, if it wasn't for my mom getting me that Captain America, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be as informed as the Avengers or anything like that. Else,
Wouldn't be as to the Avenger group if it wasn't for that figure.
cause yeah, it was like weirdly enough because that's when Toy Biz had like comic books inside their Marvel Legends cases or boxes.
That's right.
So that's when I read it, and it was like about it was like it was a book talking about the Ultimates, and Ultimates is honestly one of my favorite comic book stories. So I'm actually a big fan of the Ultimate universe. Some people don't like the Ultimate universe, but Ultimate Spider-Man. What were you gonna say?
I read some of the X-Men ones, and the Spider-Man was actually pretty cool looking. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, and Ultimate Daredevil, and Elektra. Mm-hmm. And then for I guess for Batman comics were like the older detective comics. Some by the artist Neil Adams. And some of the art done by Jim Lee, and I say like those guys because those are like one of my favorite artists and actually got me into drawing. And reading those like the comics, the Ultimate Universe, and like Uncanny X-Men and Ultimate X-Men and New X-Men, etc. How I got into comics because we really couldn't afford to get comics, so I read books. I would check out comic books like 7 to 8 of like hardcover comic books at the library, and I just read them throughout the week, and that's honestly just how I got into comic books.
It's awesome.
So
at least you got to read from the library. You don't have to waste money because eventually comic books will get expensive.
Oh yeah, comic books are getting more expensive by the day. Not saying that like I still buy comics every now and then, but sometimes I'm like, I'll just go to the library. That's fine.
I'm trying to get like paperbacks now, so everything's all compiled.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Like sometimes I have like a box of single card comics every now and then because like the Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo Batman comic, I read that since 2012. So I don't have the very first 12, but I have like 13 through 50 of the single ones.
Nice, and they're all carded and everything.
They're in mint condition, no tears or nothing.
Nice.
So
when I collected them, I always thought about if I wanted to get them graded and stuff because they always looked really cool in the hard plastic things.
Oh yeah, the plastic. Yeah, you can get them at a comic book store. You can get them or on like Amazon. You can get them for pretty cheap. Like you can get a big bulk of the packaging for comic books. You can get them for about like $6-10, and you can get like all of them for like you can fit like 50 of them. So they're pretty cheap, man. So, all right. Well, I really do appreciate you having on the very first episode. So it will be uploaded soon.
No problem.
Like if you haven't heard of Daredevil 19, definitely check out his videos. His YouTube channel and other social medias will be in the description. So check all those out and make sure to check out his videos and subscribe to him. And if you want to see more interviews from me or check out my videos, then go ahead and click this like button and subscribe button if you like my stuff. So anyway, Sean, I really do appreciate you having you, man.
No problem, anytime. If you want to do more interviews, just let me know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm thinking about doing like a small little like podcast thing where I just get someone on and we just talk about stuff. So I'll definitely hit you up for sure.
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
All right, sure. All right, well, thank you again, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
No problem.